Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm here with my drill press update. It's the last day of 2024, and I wanted to show you it is 99% complete. And I'm fairly happy with it. I guess I'm happy with it as for what it is. You can see that I've got my light on there, and I've got to do some adjustment on it. This, the way I've got it hooked up here, it's bending this up in here, so I've got to redo that. But it's functional the way it is, and because it's bending it, it's got the light bulb in crooked. Which I can show you if I well, I'm not going to unplug it. Yes, I am. I'm going to unplug it. There. Now you can see because the way it's twisted in there, the bulb is in crooked. But we could take care of that. But everything is on it. I have a couple of things to finish up. One of the things is I want to replace these screws here, these Allen screws. I painted the heads gold to match some of the gold trim. But what I'm thinking about doing is replacing them with these 1/2 inch 5/16 is what they are. And I'm going to put these bolts in, but I've got to shorten them up yet. And the reason for that is that's as far down as that goes. And that don't look cool with it sticking up like that, and then you put your acorn nut on top and it's sticking way up in the air. So I'm going to shorten it up so the acorn will be right down on top there. And I have a bolt that's going in here which will have an acorn on it, and I put acorns on my lag bolts that hold the whole thing to the bench. This cover here, it was missing when I got it. It's supposed to be a flat disc similar to, let me see, somewhere here I have it. If I can find it, until I'm really well prepared here. Here it is, way back down underneath. It would have been similar to this. It would have been aluminum, and I still might try to make this work, drop it. But in the meantime, I have a magnet that came off the bottom of one of those magnetic dishes that you use for holding your parts. And then I had this, well, I think it's an ice cream scoop is what it is. See that? It's got the holes in it where the scoop was on it, or maybe it was a melon scoop. I don't know. But it just happens to fit over that magnet pretty nice. That covers up that hole. I want to keep the dirt out of there. Some of the earlier models of these Delta didn't have any cover at all. In fact, their gradations, not for the stop, but gradations to see how far up and down your quill went, were actually on the quill and had a pointer that came around and pointed right in there. Another issue that I have yet to fix is my return spring. First time I tried it, it broke. So the company that I bought it from, they're buying me a new one. So, or they're sending me a new one. But we're functioning, you know. And I got my chuck all cleaned up. And yep, I rewired everything. New wiring on the motor. There's our motor in place, even got a sticker on it. You know what? I should have put that sticker on the other way, huh? It would have looked better. But I wasn't thinking when I put it on. But everything's cleaned and painted and got our light installed, and I redid my switch down here. So I have one for the lathe on my left, and I've got it marked right here as well as on the plug itself. Same here, drill press. So I turn the drill press on, and there you have it. I had to redo these things, and I got them in there as tight as I could. Of course, I don't have this bolt down tight. That might stop it from working just exactly the way I want. But you might notice that my pulley, let me take the cover off here. My pulleys don't line up. Well, actually, pulleys do line up, but the belt is too short. So I've got to get a longer belt, and then I'll have that straightened out, and then I can put my cover back on the front permanently. I have this rod here that came with it, and as you can see, I've started threading it. I haven't finished yet, but I'm going to be putting some round plastic knobs on there, and I'll polish these up before I put them on. They're used, so they're kind of scuffed, but we'll put them on there so it'll be easier handling than just the straight rod, you know. But that's the way it came. These are made to slide in and out, so you can slide it all the way through like that, and then pull it down like that. Yep. And it does have a screw that has to go in here. I don't have one at the moment. I'm thinking of making one. All it is a thumb screw. What I'm thinking of doing is I have this piece right here, and I'm thinking about cleaning up the wing nut and actually putting the wing nut onto this threaded rod here, so it would essentially become a bolt, and that would be bigger than the original thumb screw that was on there. Plus this is aluminum, and that means George can polish it up, don't you know. So that's another thing I've got to do yet. I showed you before the pinstriping that we did on it, and on the motor, on the head, and I wanted to get it all together for the end of the year. Well, it's essentially all together, and it works, but it's not entirely complete. So I have a few little things left to finish off. I was showing you the other day in my last video how worn this thing was and how sloppy it was on the quill shaft. Well, I could show you now. There is no play at all in it. None at all. So I have this piece here is pressed into this pulley, and also these splines on here, they should be about double that thickness. They were almost, well, you can see they've been slapping around in there. So the new one fits in nice and snug. And I think somewhere along the line, because this thing had been beat up so badly, they had actually put a sleeve in this pulley, because the new part that I got was too big to slide up through, so I had to turn this part of the shaft down to get it to go in there. Thankful for my lathe. So yeah, she's not perfect. Now I want to show you something. This is a Delta. It's an oldie. It's probably from, well, I say an oldie, it's probably from the 60s. That's what I'm guessing. Late 50s or early 60s. Let me back up here if I can. and give you an overall view of it. This is where it's going to be staying. It's bolted down here. I took one of the toolboxes that I had here. I have 3 of these Kennedys. Well, actually one of them is a Craftsman, but I had 3 of them over here lined up, and I just took the one out that was here, and I actually slid these up this way a little bit more, and I had to move that shelf up there over because the motor would interfere with it. Should have listened to something now. Now, it might be a combination. The motor is a little bit, and even though I replaced the bearings in the head up here, I got to take this off so I don't use it with it on there until I get my quill return spring replaced. It's a little bit noisy, even though everything is good on it. Why do I say it's a little bit noisy? Well, it's probably better than the cheapo ones that I used to have. But come on over here to my Buffalo, which is half again as big. And let me turn this one on. See the difference in the sound and the quality? I wanted to get myself another Buffalo, and I've actually found some, but all the ones I found were, I found one just like this, but it was in North Carolina, 7 or 8 hours away. But oh well, I'm going to keep looking. Maybe one day I'll find another one, but this one is going to become, as I had told you before, it's going to become my dedicated milling machine. And I would take this unit off and put that one on, and this one over here will become my dedicated drilling machine, don't you know. So that's where we're at, almost done by the end of the year, but not quite. So until next time, this is George. I had thought about making a looking back video in all the things we did in the past year, but y'all saw it already. You don't need to see it again. So for my little shop here, the Goofy Garage, Goofy Cart is here, waiting to get worked on. Now that I more or less have the drill press done, we can get back to work on the Goofy Cart. For my little shop, and some of these guys, I have to laugh when they're talking about their 30 by 40 or 40 by 60 or whatever they are shops with big car lifts and stuff in them, and they got all kinds of room, and they're talking about how small it is. They got no clue. Well, you know, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man is outgrowing this shop. So what I have ended up doing, one of the things we did this last year was I cut this hole for this doorway into the woodworking shop, so I wouldn't have to walk around the outside to come across over here. Well, I'm moving stuff around, so now I got my hydraulic press in here, and I got my parts washer in here. I wonder what else George is going to put in here. I had that all cleaned up before I started on this drill press. Now look at the mess down there. Oh well. You can't get anything accomplished without making a mess, can you? So until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching for commenting, for subscribing, for following along, sharing, all them good things. And you know, if it weren't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this. So I appreciate every one of you. Thank you to all of my new subscribers and my many old subscribers. And I expect in the year 2025, if I live long enough, we'll go over that 10,000 subscriber pinnacle, and we'll do another giveaway and see what it will be. Hope everything is well where you are. And I pray for your blessing in the new year, that it will be a happy and a healthy and a prosperous new year. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to what we can get accomplished together. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.